Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the USPS. In particular, I'm going to talk about the uniform practices. So, let's say you're a new letter carrier, a new CCA. Congratulations. The first thing that may come to your mind once you start is, where's my uniform? Where's my stuff? Well, the USPS does not issue uniform items when you start working for them. Now, mostly it's because the turnover rate is so high that it just wouldn't prove to be financially um, proper, I guess, to go ahead and issue uniforms to just everybody who joins. So what they do is they make you work 120 calendar days or 90 days worked, whichever comes first. Then you qualify for a uniform allowance, which they call the uniform voucher. So that's all well and good, but what do you do during this time? I mean, you're issued a bag and you're going to use that bag from day one. So you go out and you get yourself some good walking shoes and comfortable clothes that you can wear while you're walking the streets delivering the mail. Now, if you don't have any USPS representation on yourself other than your bag, people can easily mistake you for just some stranger walking up to their property. So there is an element of danger here. So you do want to think about getting some USPS insignia on yourself sooner than later. So one thing to understand too, right from the time you're in training class, not all things are equal. Not all things are fair. And what I mean by that is, you have classmates in your class with you. You may be someone that knows nobody at the post office, and you're brand new to it, and you're going through this training, and it's all new to you. Or you may have a classmate right next to you who's a veteran. And by the fact of being a veteran, he may know other veterans that are already in the plant or the station or the annex, whatever terminology that they use locally for their place of work. And because of that familiarity, there's some advantages that are immediately recognized. And one of them is, like, as soon as your classmate starts, he'll be approached by a couple veterans who are letter carriers, and they're going to be giving him hand-me-down shirts and pants, shorts, gloves, you name it. And that is a big boost to this guy that was in your class who's a veteran. And more power to him. I mean, I think it's great that a veteran helps out another veteran. But bottom line is, he'll be set up often with a lot of clothes to start his work experience where you have nothing. So that happens all the time. It's not a fair situation. Also, you may have a classmate who has a friend or a relative who works at the post office nearby there in some capacity. And because of that connection, guess who's going to get some stuff, some shirts and pants and whatnot? Yes, the person who has a connection, an in, if you will. So again, I don't harbor ill will to that person either. I mean, if they have an opportunity, let them get some stuff. But that still leaves you out in the cold. So what do? Well, there's a couple things you can do. You can befriend or get to know as soon as possible some of the experienced letter carriers, the regulars as they're called. Introduce yourself, get to know them, and a lot of them are really nice people, and they'll say, hey, you look about my size. I have a couple, a shirt and a pair of shorts or whatever that I can go ahead and let you have, or a vest or something like that to help you get going. Because they understand that you're brand new and you have nothing, right, in the way of uniforms. Another way is in training, you're introduced to the union, the NACL, the National Association, or it's actually NALC, the National Association of Letter Carriers. And you have the opportunity to join the union during training. And if you do, and you go to a subsequent meeting, union meeting, because they generally have them once a month, almost every union hall has a uniform um, a uniform shed or a uniform gurney, a uniform container, some sort of area that's in the union hall that has, donated uniform items. And one of the things you can do right from the first meeting you go to is shop through that bin or gurney and just kind of, if there's something that fits you, go ahead and take it. And it's for free. In the union hall that I attended, they had a shed, and in the shed they had uniform items. So you would go to the shed to see if you could find anything. And I found a couple things that fit me, and so that helped me. So for me personally, in between a couple of nice regulars who gave me a couple items and the union hall shed that I just spoke of, I was able to outfit myself well enough to go out and do the work and identify myself as a USPS employee fairly easily. Okay? But I just wanted you to know that that's kind of the process you have to use in order to get some USPS gear so you can go out and do the work. Now, going back to the NALC, they do have a website and they do have a section called the Uniform Program, and they explain it in detail how it works. Now, after this 90 days of work or 120 days, calendar days that you're there, you can approach your supervisor manager and basically say, hey, I qualify for the voucher. And they will often say, all right. And there's a whole process you're supposed to go through, but the process I went through, and it seems to be very common, is once I notified the manager that I qualified for the uniform allowance or voucher, and that's something, by the way, you have to do. Don't expect them to keep track of how many days worked you have, and then after you qualify, they come to you. That's nice thinking. It doesn't work that way. So you need to keep track of how many days worked you've done. So once you qualify and you're going to your manager and you let them know, they have a credit card, and they will often say, okay, go to the website and go shop for what you want, and they let you shop for what you want. You can get whatever's there that's appropriate for your work. Gloves, often you can get a pith helmet, which is like a rain helmet, keeps out the rain very well. You can get, socks, you can get a jacket, and jackets come in different thicknesses. You can get a poncho. There's all sorts of stuff, but you do have an allowance limit. So you just want to review what that is with the manager, and then often you'll go shopping at the websites, and you can choose what you want, print out your order list, give it to your manager, and the manager will often go in there and make the purchase on your behalf. Now, that's not the official way to do it, but that's the practical way, and that's how it's done in a lot of places. So if there's a specifically different process you use, let me know in the comments. The more info, the better. So that's kind of how that process works. As far as websites, there is no one website. There's several. And your manager will have, because they'll have many advertisements from many different companies, because the post office gets them continually. So you'll have definite catalogs to look at, or you can just go online after you get the name of a few of these clothing retailers. Okay, so that's no big deal either. There's no one you have to buy from, just as long as they meet, the basic USPS clothing requirements. Okay, so that's basically the process. That's how it works. It's very touchy-feely in a lot of areas. It's not as linear as you may think. It's not like step 1, step 2, step 3. It's just basically communicate. Get to know people. Get some hand-me-downs in the beginning. Don't be too picky about what you get. And then as you start to qualify, the first instance you have, don't wait for them to come to you. You go to them. Get your order in. Start getting your clothes. And then on the anniversary of your yearly anniversary, you're entitled to get more clothes because, you know, they wear out, they rip, they break, you know, things happen. So that's a quick video on USPS as far as getting your stuff, your clothes. And if you have any questions, please comment and I'll be happy to answer them. If you like the video, please subscribe and please like it. And I'll see you on the next video, okay? Bye.